cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, today I want to discuss some of the strange history involving the King in the North sword, Longclaw. If you're not caught up with the series, be aware there will be spoilers, so now is your chance to protect yourself. Anyway, let's get into it. Most fans know the basics about the bastard sword Longclaw that Jon Snow currently wields. Just as a refresher, it was given to Jon as a gift from Jeor Mormont, the former Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Jeor comes from Bear Island, where the Mormont house rules. Jeor volunteered to go to the Wall, apparently because he wanted to give lordship over Bear Island to his son Jorah. Jorah, as we know, fled from Westeros to avoid execution by Eddard Stark, because he was caught selling poachers into slavery. The whole background on that is Jorah was married to a noble woman from the Hightower family who favored a luxurious life. Unfortunately, Jorah could not afford to give his wife that lifestyle, and resorted to committing illegal acts to help fund the expenses. Longclaw was Jorah's sword by this point, but because he disgraced his family, he left it at his home before sailing to Essos. Jeor ended up receiving the sword at Castle Black from his sister, where it basically collected dust for many years. After Jon saved the Lord Commander from the Whites, Jeor decided to have the pommel change from a bear to a white wolf, in honor of Jon. Fast forward to the current timeline, and Jon Snow still carries Longclaw. It has proven very important in battle against the White Walkers, being made of Valyrian steel, one of the few materials that can harm the dead army. Anyway, what's really odd about the sword is it only dates back around 500 years. At least that's how long the Mormonts have had it, and its history before that is relatively unknown. To get an idea of how rare Valyrian steel weapons are, think about this. The process of creating such blades was lost in the Doom of Valyria. According to Tywin Lannister, there is only 3 blacksmiths living today who can successfully rework the magical material without losing its unique characteristics. No one, however, can produce brand new Valyrian steel, because the secret has since been lost. In the Citadel, where maesters claim all the world's knowledge is held, there's a book titled Inventories. It shows that 227 known Valyrian steel weapons are currently in Westeros, although many of them are unaccounted for by now. Historically, only the most powerful and wealthy families in Westeros had 1 or 2. It was such a rare thing to own that Tywin was always upset the Lannister family didn't have any. That's why he was so willing to break down ice and reforge 2 new blades for his son and grandson. Anyway, most of the Valyrian blades shown in the series have extensive history that can be traced back many centuries, or even millennia. But Longclaw does not. Before the Mormonts received it, nobody really knows where it came from. And the Mormont house doesn't really have that kind of pull over the realm, so it's quite strange why they would have such a rare and exquisite weapon like Longclaw. Some fans believe it may be a lost Targaryen family sword, one of 2 that are famously known to come over to Westeros from Valyria during Aegon's conquest. There was Blackfire, the actual sword Aegon the Conqueror wielded, and Dark Sister, a blade that one of Aegon's sister wives used. Dark Sister was last seen with Brynden Rivers, better known as Bloodraven, after the time Longclaw had been in the Mormont family, so it is very unlikely that they are the same blade. But Blackfire, however, Aegon's sword, went missing before Longclaw was ever even known about. Another crazy fact is Longclaw and Blackfire are the same size sword, a hand-and-a-half sword, also known as a bastard sword. Throughout Blackfire's history, we know it was given by a Targaryen king to his bastard son instead of his rightful son, who was in line to be king. If the 2 blades end up being one and the same, then what a coincidence it will be, having been owned by 2 bastards from the Targaryen house. Even though Jon Snow isn't technically a bastard since Rhaegar married Lyanna before Jon's birth, but raised as one rather. So what do you think? Where did Longclaw come from? And is it possible the true origins of the blade may actually point to it being black fire, the sword wielded by Aegon the Conqueror? Let me know your thoughts. As always, have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.